He treated patients like family, like friends, and he would go out of his way to make sure that they felt comfortable, that they knew what was going on, that they understood the treatment options.
Sometimes you could hardly tell that he was treating you because he was so light and careful and soft. People trusted him a lot, so that's why a lot of patients come back after, so they would come to him for several years and then leave and then end up coming back because they just said, man, I just trust you so much.
That's how my dad saw dentistry, was an act of service. He was getting paid to help people, essentially. So my dad exposed me to dentistry through the context of missions and service. And we would travel to Guatemala to treat underserved populations. And I would get to sit chairside with my dad for 8 hours a day, helping Guatemalans who could never afford the dentistry that they needed to save their teeth, essentially. So even though he wasn't verbally pushing me into dentistry, his example taught me what dentistry really was all about. He loved organizing and serving the people of Guatemala, and he loved mentoring other young dental students. Some of the patients we treated in Guatemala have grown up to become dentists themselves and now accompany us on these same dental missions. It's amazing. So Dad's legacy lives on long after his passing.
I think his primary driving motivation really was to make dentistry seem like it had a future, with helping people to not be controlled by insurance. And when you help people, you feel good about yourself, right? So dentistry and protecting it and helping it continue to grow was probably his mission in life, like for his goal. And missions work was how he felt rejuvenated and helped uplift his spirit.
My dad showed love for the people around him by acts of service. And remember, he considered his patients as friends. And so I think his focus was really twofold, to help his patients, who he considered his friends, and also to help his dental colleagues, who he considered his friends, and to minimize the influence of third-party payers who would harm that doctor-patient relationship.
Missions takes a lot out of you. When you go on these trips, most likely you'll get sick. You're traveling a lot. You're paying out of pocket, and you're working long hours, because what happens is people find out that you're doing free and care, and they line up, and the line is 500 people long, and you don't want to turn people away, so you're working 11 or 12-hour days.
My dad taught me service as a love language. He also taught me the strength of the community around you and how to leverage your friendships and your relationships to make everyone's life better. He taught me the meaning of hard work, and he taught me how to go above and beyond to serve both your family, your friends, and your patients. His practice of dentistry and his interaction with the people around him was all about relationships. It was about friendships. It was about family. It was about serving the people that were in your community.
I think the most important thing I learned from my parents is hard work and grit. Never giving up. They cared for others a great deal, and they tried to help as much as they could and be good stewards of the gifts that they were given.
Receiving this award, it means a lot to our family, because it honors the legacy of my father, and it honors the deeply held perspective that Kim's life was an act of service, both to the dentists that he considered friends and to the patient population that he deeply considered friends and family. On one hand, Kim would still be Kim even if he never received this award, but on the other hand, I think it's worthwhile to honor his deeply held convictions and his acts of service that have spanned many decades.